Welcome back to another beautiful day here in Bert's Paradise. So, I've got some villagers here from where we left off in last episode, and I've got a Silk Touch pickaxe. So, what that means is we can now go mining and get all of the good resources we've been kind of saving for ourselves here. I typically like to do this in any world I create. You know, it's just kind of fun for me. You don't have to, but usually the best resources that are easy to get, if they're close by, I like to save them for when I have fortune, but you don't always have fortune at the beginning. So I'm going to encase these guys here in a little wall of protection, if you will, in preparation because we're going to go mining and we're going to grab some resources. And the plan for today's episode is we're going to do a brief mining session, get a bunch of resources, and then I realize that I'm going to need fortune. So we're also going to have to grab one of our villagers that's still alive in one of these houses, and we're going to have to convert them to a librarian. Or worst case scenario, these two guys are going to have to breed. So let's get these all set up here, and then I'm going to go for a quick mining session. Okay, with our villagers safe and a fresh pickaxe, we're going to come back down here into the mines that we loosely explored earlier, and we're going to collect all the resources. So I noticed a lot of copper, some iron, which is great. We need a lot of that. And then, you know, a whole bunch of other goodies. But there's this nice cave system down here that we can kind of explore a little bit more. Ooh, down there looks pretty good. I think I'll go there a little bit later, but right now, let's stick with the place that I lit up first. So I think I'll take this time now to kind of explain a little bit more about our plans going forward in the next couple of episodes. I actually have thought about it quite a bit, and we're going to be building the first big farm. And the first, well, I should say not really a farm. It'll be a couple things in one. So I want to get our villager breeding situation going, which will involve building the breeder, of course. With that, I want to also have a trading hall. And as you can imagine, that's going to need farms and a whole bunch of things there to be able to trade with the villagers. And this is actually going to be a pretty massive project. I've got a couple models picked out on line, which I will share. Geode. Let me grab the screenshot here real quick. But I actually have the model picked out that I'm going to start building, and I'm pretty excited about it. And so it's going to be pretty big for me, and I'm actually going to build it out in the ocean. So let me know in the comments what you think we're going to build. I'm going to go ahead and grab these, and we'll come back when I've harvested them all. And that should do it. So I cleared out all the space around all of these crystals so that when we come back, we can harvest them easily. There's actually quite a bit, so I'm quite excited about this. We are going to, like I mentioned last episode, we're going to need a lot of amethyst in the future. So this will give us a good place because it's close enough to where we're going to be hanging out that it'll allow these to grow over time. This is a good ore vein. Nice copper and wow, some iron. Goes really deep here. Yeah, this is what I'm looking for, and this is why I like to save things for when I either have fortune or silk touch. I prefer silk touch when I go mining because less clogs up your inventory because you have one ore instead of up to 4. That's why I wanted to save it here. So what? Oh, you're sneaky. I'm not messing with that. Well, it's a good thing I didn't just dig straight through there. Anyways, now that we are avoiding that creeper, we're going to head down to Mr. Skeleton over here. So I can hear him, but I don't quite see him yet. Luckily, we've got our trusty spyglass thing here. But anyways, while we take care of this guy and hop down here, I want to talk a little bit more about what we're building and specifically the resources. So let me take care of this guy real quick. Maybe we can pop around the corner and snipe him from afar. There he is. Let's get him. Another achievement unlocked. Ouch. What? Oh, that was some lag there. Oh, but I got him too, so it all works out. Anyways, so the resources we're going to actually need is going to be half provided by our stonemason and half some stuff that we're going to collect while we're down here in the caves. So to kind of tease it out a little bit, we're going to need some red terracotta from our stonemason, and we're also going to need some smooth quartz, which we can get from them as well after we smelt up the regular quartz blocks they'll give us. And the other big thing we are down here for is copper. And so now knowing all of that, maybe you have a good idea of what we're going to build. But yeah, try and take a guess as we grab some more resources here. And speaking of the copper we were talking about, here is quite a big vein. So this should be really good. I'm looking for a lot of copper. I haven't done the calculation of how much I actually need. It's going to depend on the size of the model. And the model I picked out looks quite big, but I haven't actually counted the blocks yet that, like the number I'm going to need or how big a scale it's going to be. It doesn't look like too massive, thankfully. It looks pretty proportional. But with that in mind, I'm just going to collect as much copper as I can, along with the other resources here, so that we'll be able to get that going. I haven't really used copper in this way before, so I'm pretty excited to see how it turns out. Hopefully you guys all like it when I get to it, but, you know, I'm curious to hear, you know, as I kind of keep this loosely a secret, what you all think I'm going to be building. It's going to become very apparent in the next episode for sure, but, yeah. So I think I got everything. I might have missed one here. I want to make sure I get everything because I don't want to have to come back down. But let's just check up here before we head down into that cave. Okay, that's nothing up there. Alright, nothing up there either. And yeah, it does look like I missed one. And we need as much as possible. Inventory's getting a little full, but that's why I wanted Silk Touch. A lot of this can be just kind of thrown out. I don't need extra andesite or any of that, at least right now. That's easy to get anyway. Let's see what we've got down here, though. How far does this go? Is that dead end? Oh, no, it keeps going. Ooh, hold on. Looks like it opens up. Oh, wow. Huge cave system. That's cool. Let's grab the coordinates there. Let's go ahead and light this one up. I think this will be a really good place. Maybe we can find some diamonds, some gold. Because that'll be good. We're going to need a lot of gold, actually, for curing villagers. But for now, let's just throw down some torches. Wow, this is huge. This is crazy. What a good find, and so close to my little village here. So far, nothing trying to ruin my day, which is good. I was expecting a lot more creepers and skeletons, but makes it easy to light things up when you're not dodging arrows and things that are trying to explode. There's probably something around here, though. There has to be. It's so dark. Yep, there's a spider. Maybe we can get his eye. Oops, some gold. Yeah, get over here, bud. I want your eye. I need to make more potions. There we go. Okay, let's grab this gold real quick. All right, looks like our inventory is getting quite full here, so I'm going to do a little bit more mining, clean things up, and we'll cut back to the surface. Alright, so finished our mining session and grabbing a chest here, and I want to go ahead and pop down all of our resources, see what we got, because the next step to this is we need fortune to, harvest all of this. So I'm going to go ahead and throw all of these resources in the chest, and we're going to go try and find one of the villagers that we've left roaming around here so we can make ourselves a librarian. Well, if it isn't too obvious with the ominous rain and my attempts to ring this bell to call some villagers over, not having too much luck here. I hear one, but I don't know where he is. Maybe I hit him somewhere and not sure. But yeah, ringing the bell usually makes them congregate if they are around. So maybe he's down here. Do a quick check. Well, was hoping to have to avoid breeding them. It gets a little tricky. And since I'm planning on building a breeder somewhere else, I don't really want to get a setup here since I'm going to be moving everything in the future. But looks like I'm going to have to breed at least one so I can get fortune. So let's head back over here, and we'll get things prepped and ready to get ourselves the librarian with fortune 3. All right, step 1, get them out of their boats. Preferably without hitting them. I've already cured these guys a number of times, don't want to have to do it multiple times. Now, step 2, we will grab the beds. Luckily, we don't have to shear a bunch of sheep. We can just come out here to the rest of the village and grab these. Typically, in order to breed villagers, you just need one more bed than there are villagers. So if you have 2 villagers, you want 3 beds at minimum. However, sometimes they can be a little picky. So the way the game works is they want like an unclaimed bed. So if you sleep in it, sometimes it can be wonky, or sometimes they claim the same bed, I think. But we're just going to put down a bunch. So I already have 3, but I want to put more. And we want to make sure that they have their workstations and that they can't see the zombies that I have over yonder. So now that we have this, we should be good to go. All right, we are good to go. We have, I saved you all the time, we have our adult villager. So I'm grabbing a book and I'm grabbing all the emeralds we have because I don't care how expensive it is. We want to lock in that fortune 3 trade. So you can see I've set this down. They have started making more babies, and now is the fun part. We have a bunch of placing blocks to go. So I don't know how long this is going to take, so dang it. So I'm going to probably cut through to like maybe do a time lapse of how long this is going to take. Shouldn't take too long. But once we get the trade we want, we will have fortune and we will be able to get what we need. So let me get to placing these and I'll cut back when we get that. So Future Bert here. No joke, this took 45 minutes of in-game time just playing and placing this lectern over and over and over again. And I passed up some pretty good trades, some sharpness 5s and protections, whatnot. But all in all, was successful. Didn't think it would take this long. And we actually got a mending guy in the process. Couldn't pass that up. So I'm going to take it back now when we get the book that we need. Hey, there it is. Fortune 3. Great. So let's lock him in. I don't care that cost a lot of emeralds there. We finally got what we needed. Getting the pickaxe, from our toolsmith was easy. And you can see we've got a ton of iron golems here. But, oh man, that took way, 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 way too long. So let's go ahead and enchant this. Why am I using the enchanter instead of a anvil? I am smart. That's what happens when you place a lectern thousands of times. Great. So we're going to get fortune on there. We're going to add mending. That's everything we need for now. We can add efficiency 5 later. Great. So Okay, I wanted to place all the stuff, but looks like the sun is going down, so let's sleep so as not to invite all the enemies in. All right, so now it's time. So we got a ton of these resources. I want to place them all down into a giant pile and see what we get. So apologies for these cows. They're quite loud, but we'll make do. So I'm just going to place a bunch of these down. Those are really loud. I'm going to have to move that. I do have the data pack in for silencing mobs, so maybe I can just create a stack of name tags and silence them all. Well, that doesn't help when I breed them. Anyway, so I got over a stack of the copper, which is really good. I think that'll be a good start for what I need for the bigger project. Got a lot of coal here, which is really good. I plan on using kelp as a fuel source, so this will be good for, this coal will be good for, you know, torches and other things as we get going. Just want to get myself in a good position with a lot of resources that I can have on hand, so I don't have to do a one-off, you know, go looking for just some of this. Didn't quite get as much gold as I want. I was a little bit bummed about that because I wanted to be able to make more golden apples. Now that we have our fortune guy, we want to cure him and make sure that we can get all of the fortune books for 1 emerald. But maybe, who knows? We'll see how lucky we get with our fortune here as we mine the gold. But maybe we'll get enough for, I'm hoping, at least 2 golden apples, so we can at least cure 2 of them. But anyway, here we go. Take a look at this. My first ore mountain. Not bad. A quick mining session and 45 minutes of trying to convince a villager to give me fortune. And let's go. I always find this fun, trying to predict how many resources I'm going to get from this. So let me know in the comments before, you know, don't cheat. Don't go to the end and actually look, but let me know how many ores you think I'm going to get out of this. Kind of making me nervous here, seeing what looks like a bunch of 1 ore hits. I saw a 2 there for a second. There's another 2. But we'll see. I at least got a stack of lapis so far. That's something. Lapis is one of those that's pretty easy to get, but you also can burn through it real quick if you're putting a lot of enchants together, or if you're, you know, just trying to find an enchant from the enchanting table. So it'll be good to have a little bit of excess there. And again, apologies, headphone users, for these cows. They are quite loud. May have to cull the herd. Almost at the bottom layer here. Alright, and the last layer. Let's make sure not to accidentally hit Mr. Iron Golem here. That would be a disaster, to say the least. Although I will say, it's refreshing to see them spawn. That means, you know, I'm doing something right. I am terrible with iron farms, and I can never get them to work, even when I follow the direction. So it's good to see them spawn here. Maybe I'll have some luck in this world when we get that going. All right. So we're finishing up here, and let's see how many ores and valuables we got here. Wow. That is epic. Okay, cool. I got so much copper. That is exactly what I need. This is perfect. Okay, so that's going to be huge for us. I'm going to need to smelt all of that up. Got so many stacks of that. I probably won't have to get that for a while. Enough for 2 golden apples, which is good. Quite a bit of iron, ton of lapis, and some coal. And yes, a cheeky little cowhead. You did see that correct. All right, so let's go ahead and throw the lapis in here for my enchants. And I think that's gonna do it for this episode. A little bit shorter one, but while I smelt up this iron, I'm gonna wrap things up here. So in our next episode, we're actually gonna start building, and it's gonna be out behind me on the water here. So take a good guess what we're gonna build, and I'm gonna be sharing the model and everything like that next episode. But hope you guys enjoyed, hope you had a good time, and I will catch you next time. Take care.